Zimbabwe. Jeffree, are you with us?
Yes, thank you. I don't know how I switch on my camera, honestly.
Actually, it's at the bottom where you mute or unmute yourself. It should be next to you. But we have your presentation here.
Yes.
And you can start right away. Yes,
okay,
let there be light. That's a good start.
Okay, thank you so much indeed. Let there be light. Greetings from Zimbabwe. I'm in Rugare, a bit chilly this side, but we are okay. Still working under lockdown conditions. So yes, so I'll just take you through my presentation, which is mainly to show how things are looking as far as renewables or renewable entrepreneurs are concerned, like myself in Zimbabwe. Maybe let's go to the next slide. Yes, so our company is Global Solar. We started operating in 2014. We are registered by all the relevant authorities in Zimbabwe. We also do our own community social responsibilities under the Flames brand. Those are some of the clients or partners that we've worked with in Zimbabwe and also in other countries. We mainly do a lot of installations of solar. We are also investigating a lot of hydro. We are producing locally LED lighting, that is the LED lights. We produce them locally for the whole country. Employing about, in our LED manufacturing plant, we employ about 25 people, of which 80% are women. Women are always very meticulous, and we prefer them because the quality of the product, we've seen that it's better when they are working there. Maybe next slide, please. So in terms of our establishments, we are Global Solar in Zimbabwe. We also have Global Solar Zambia and Solar Worldwide in Malawi. In Zambia, we've done a couple of projects. In Zimbabwe, we've done quite a bit. In Malawi, we haven't done anything. We've just gone through the registration processes. Next slide, please. So what is our vision? Is to increase the access to a sustainable energy, renewable energy technologies to all citizens of Africa. So our vision is not only Zimbabwe or SADC or regional, but we intend to go continental, so that we say let there be light the whole continent of Africa. Our mission is typically to fight energy poverty, SDG 7, through the deployment of these technologies powered by renewable energy distributed to people either who are not served by the grid or who cannot afford the grid. Those are some of our values. We value our environment, innovation, eco-friendly products, and the timely delivery of our products. Next, please. So what are the challenges that are faced, which is the main reason why I'm just presenting? I'm narrowing on this. Some of the challenges that we are facing or being faced by entrepreneurs in the context of Zimbabwe in particular, or regionally in general. One issue, since when we talk of community power, we are talking of involving a lot of people either at village level or at cell level to be able to do something together for themselves. So one of the challenges that we face as entrepreneur is we don't have enough mapping which has been done. When I say mapping, I mean to know what are the needs of each particular region or community. So it's very difficult then to know which technology to deploy. So there is a lot of, we are also looking for partners who can partner us to do what we can, needs assessment. Then we do a mapping and we say, okay, in the eastern highlands of Zimbabwe, we have to deploy maybe mini hydros because there is a lot of water and the terrain allows mini hydros. And then maybe in certain regions, we have to deploy solar because it's doing very well there and it's cost effective there. In certain regions, we have to go for wind. In other areas, maybe we have to go for a hybrid solution. So this work has not been done. So sometimes as entrepreneurs, it's very difficult to know what sort of technologies we must employ in certain regions. So we're also trying to look for partners who can help us in the mapping, which will make it faster, say if you want to invest in these technologies. Another issue that we face is the need versus the business case. What do I mean? 60% of Zimbabweans, they don't have access to energy or to sustainable energy. Of this 60%, 90% or 95%, they're in rural communities. And they are poor, they have the need, so, but they cannot afford. So there is no business case in some of the areas, but there is need. As a private sector, I expect to see where there is a business case, there is a need, and also the community has got the power for them to be able to pay for that, for those technologies which we are envisaging to deploy in those communities. So this is another challenge that we face. We talk of big numbers in terms of energy access or lack of it, but are the people, do they have the liquidity or the money to be able to invest in those technologies? So it's another challenge that we face. Another issue in the context specifically for Zimbabwe. Currently, we are facing hyperinflation, and also the cost of money is ridiculous. If you want to look for capital, you cannot get it. So it's a challenge that we face here in Zimbabwe. Inflation right now is standing at around 700,000. So which makes it even difficult if you want to go long term in terms of the payment regime, which usually the communities would want maybe to pay after 6 months, after 1 year. But with inflation, it makes it very difficult. But government now is reintroducing the United States dollar as a medium of exchange. We hope it's going to stabilize the prices going forward, even the payment mechanisms. Also, another issue is sparsely populated regions. In other regions, they are sparsely populated. You cannot deploy, say, for example, a mini grid because it will cost in terms of distribution of the power. It's very costly. So you may see that it's very difficult to build a business case, but there are people who are in need. Like I've already said, the capital challenges, banks, they are not ready to give renewable energy entrepreneurs. Why? Because some of them, they don't understand it. So usually they don't fund something that they don't understand. They are used to the traditional ways of giving capital. Maybe you want to build a house, you want to do that because they understand it. But when you say we want to deploy a mini grid or a solar system, they don't understand it. Hence, they are risk averse as far as they are lending to people like us. And most of the renewable energy entrepreneurs, they are new and sometimes without collateral, which makes it very, very challenging. Another issue is skills shortages. Renewable energy is the new kid on the block. For example, in Zimbabwe, we don't have an university which is offering a degree program specifically, or even at diploma level, specifically for solar or for renewable energy. They are only used to the AC power, which electricians do. So we have got skill shortages. For example, you deploy a renewable energy system in a rural area. There's no one to do troubleshooting there because most of these places are very difficult to access. So once you've done something, you expect the communities at their level to be able to do that. So there is a need for training. And we are also looking for partners in training. How can we make more people understand this so that they'll be able to look after their systems once they are commissioned? We also face a lot of substandard and our country at the moment has no capacity to test the products, which sometimes then we see a lot of bad products being deployed or substandard products being deployed, which is now compromising the technologies. People now say solar doesn't work either because it was not installed correctly because of lack of skills, or it's a substandard product and people then they feel that the technology doesn't work. So there's another challenge that we face as entrepreneurs. And another issue, most communities are being implemented by NGOs and donors for free, which makes it difficult in some areas to have a business model because the donors are just giving for free. So people, if you want them to say pay for it, they say no, the donor will come and will just give us the system, and we can't pay for it. So, and which also affects the issues of ownership. If something is given for free, people tend to just relax as far as maintaining it because they don't feel that they've put effort on it. Another issue is value chain management. What do I mean? We also see in certain communities, they don't have the purchasing power, but then you say, okay, let's start something which is of productive use. They start, say, for example, to plant horticulture projects, which I shall show you some of the pictures, but they don't have the market for those because of the value chain management. They might be producing, but they don't know where to sell, or they don't have access to the markets, which is also another problem because it will mean that they will not be able to finance their systems once installed. So this is another issue. Also another issue is lack of pilot projects for proof of concept. It's important sometimes to also have pilot projects where you test the technology, the context of it. So if we could have one or two nations where people can go and see it working for some time, and they'll be able to adopt it also. So these are some of the challenges that we face, or entrepreneurs are facing in the deployment of community power. Next slide, please. Opportunities. For example, in Zimbabwe, if you want to do, say, a mini grid up to 99 kilowatt, you don't need a license. So you can even have two side by side. As long as one is 99 kilowatt, you don't need a license. You don't need to engage the government. You can just do it. So it's another advantage, which I believe it's a big opportunity. Largely duty-free on importation of products, renewable energy products, like example, inverters, lithium batteries, solar panels, LED lighting. So some of these things, they don't need or attract any duties, which makes it even cheaper for the products. Government now is very proactive in terms of encouraging the deployment of renewable energies across the country. Land is largely available. Yes, you have to talk to community leaders. They'll be able to avail land if you've got projects which are beneficial to them. In Zimbabwe, we've also very good solar radiation and mini hydro potential. You cannot go wrong with solar in Zimbabwe. I think 90% of the times per year, you should be able to have enough mini hydro. There's a lot of, but mini hydro is only certain regions or areas where you can deploy that. So those are some of the potentials that are there. What we just need are partners who are ready to partner with us to be able to do that, so that we fight energy poverty. Next slide, please. So now I'm just showing you a rundown of some of the work that we've done. I was hoping also to show you. So this is our first installation in 2014. When we started, you can see even everything there. It is a farm. We did a pump. It's still working, but this was our first. So I thought it's important for us to also see where we are coming from as a company. Let's move on. Next slide, please. So this is a community project. Maybe wait. This is a community project where water is being pumped from a bowl. Then it goes to feed a clinic and also a village. So this was basically water. We treat it using UV so that the water is safe to drink. So this is one of the projects that we've done. You can move to the next slide. This one is so they were trenching so that the pipes can move. You can move to the next. Yes, so this is another project we also did. Mainly these were water projects powered by solar, pumping water either from a dam or from a bowl. Next slide, please. Still water, we said it's difficult, sometimes it's expensive to store power in batteries. It's better to store water, then they can use it at night. So we pump during the day, at night, then we can use, if we want to do night irrigation, we can use water tanks. If you want to use water at night, you use water tanks. Than to store power. Storing power is more expensive than storing water. Yes, let's move. So same concept. We can move just to see some of the projects that we've done. That's another project that we've done. They are now doing their horticulture. That was a tomato. Horticulture projects, same, we can move to the next. Now they are able to produce for their own food security. In some areas, they are able to sell either to the communities or to other regions, but the issues of value chain is still a problem. Next. Yeah, so that was me just going to see some of it, some of the that's me seeing some of the projects that we did. We can move on to the next. So that's for a school. We did a small DC. This was just a proof of concept, a small DC project for a school in the rural areas. Now they're able to do even to work at night. That's for a hospital, but this one was in partnership with an NGO, a donor, who we then asked were just the technical partners. So it's a hospital that we installed this system. Can move to the next. Still, that's the same for the hospital with the gel batteries and a 8 kilowatt inverter. So this one for homes, you can move to the next. This one just for some of the work that we do for household. This was for street lighting for a small community, street lighting. So we have also offered consultants as a company because there are a lot of gaps. You can go to the next. Yeah, so that was, we did a 3 piped water schemes in an area feeding about 5,000 villages using gravity-fed piped water schemes, UV treatment, and also we also helped in the consultants of a 66 kilowatt solar power irrigation system for 44 hectares in Gwanda area in the south of Harare, of Zimbabwe. So we did also consultants, we developed everything. We also, like I've said, we have got a lot of skills gap. So we also offer trainings so that the technology is deployed correctly. Let's move on. So that was a training that we did in Harare through some a partner from Canada. Let's move on. So that's the training that we offered. Let's move on. Yeah, so us as a company, we've also done something not for money. That is for corporate social responsibility. You can move on under our Flames brand, yes. So this is the system. Just when COVID started, our company Global Solar, we donated at the hospital, which is mainly dealing with the COVID. So we installed a solar system there. You can move to the next. So we did at Wickings Hospital, which is if you just Google, Wickings is the one which is dealing with all COVID cases. So we donated a system knowing that once somebody is under treatment there, they need an interrupted power supply. So we had to donate a system to assist at the hospital. You can move. So we also donated at a local church. Usually here people, when there's a crisis, they gather at the pastor's house. So we also had to donate a system so that it will be able to help the community. Yes, you can move. So this was after we installed it. That was the lady who is the pastor. You can move on. So that was the system. Move on. Now they are able to watch TV. We also, as a company, donated to some school choirs in rural areas where then we just had to give them some prizes so that they are able also to understand. We also donated at football competitions for our winning prize. What we said to the winning team, once you win, you tell us where you want us to go in a local village, where you want us to go and put a solar system, either at a hospital or at a church, and we did that. Okay, next. Yeah, so basically that's us as Global Solar and what we have done in terms of renewable energy deployment as from an entrepreneur's perspective. Maybe one thing that I want to add, I could have shown you more photos of our production line. I can always do that if there is need. Government has just also passed a renewable energy policy and biofuel policy in March, which is now adopted, which is very ambitious. I could share with those who may need it. So basically, as a company, that's what we have done. And that's what we are facing in terms of challenges and also in terms of opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeffree, and greetings to Rugare. That was very insightful, and I think you made quite clear what the barriers are, where the opportunities are, also where you would see some need to get help. And you as a, I would say, community-based entrepreneur, are certainly doing great work, also working with communities. So congratulations from my side. And I think the one key aspect that you mentioned, some people say there's no business case for the poor. That's exactly what we have to tackle, what we have to find solutions.